Hello my dear students, in this video class we are going to discuss 11th chapter of the history, the national movement. My dear students, in this chapter our main focus will be on the different activities made by the different political parties formed within India, by which they tried their level best to be free from the oppressive and cruel rules of the Britishers. In the previous chapters we have discussed how, because of the arrival of the Britishers, our resources, our industries, mainly the cottage industry, suffered a lot, and Britishers made a lot of policies by which they annexed the various parts of our country and they became the masters of their land. Many policies were introduced by the Britishers from time to time so that they can control the major portions of the India. Some of the important policies were the doctrine of lapse, subsidiary alliance, etc. Besides that, we have also seen that Britishers were making discriminations. Means Europeans were regarded as the superior and we the Indians were regarded as the inferiors. This discrimination was visible at all the places. Separate parks, school, colleges, seats as well as coaches in the trains were there. So these all wrong policies of the Britishers made a great hatred among the Indians. They wanted to be free from the oppressive rule of the Britishers. And in that, newspapers, journals, growth of the English literature as well as teaching of the English language, these all helped us. By the newspapers and journals, people came to know what is happening in the surrounding areas. By the introduction of the railways, people can easily transport from one place to the another place and they interact their ideas with each other. Besides that, by the introduction of the English language, they came to know what was taking place in their surrounding world, and these all incidences inspired them and caused a feeling of nationalism among them. So there were many causes for the nationalist movement within India. Few are here. First one, discrimination made by the Europeans in the appointment of the government jobs. My dear students, as we have already discussed, that Britishers were making superiority and inferiority. High posts were mainly reserved for the Britishers, and for the subordinate post there were the Indians. In the year of 1886, Surendranath Banerjee from the Bengal passed the ICS examination, but he was not given the high post. Later on, by the interference of the Queen Victoria, in the year of 1871, he became the collector, but after 2 years of the work only, Britishers once again replaced him. This caused a widespread hatred among the educated classes of India against the Britishers. Besides that, there were many policies which were adopted by the Lord Lytton, and these policies also angered the Indians. Some of the policies are: first, reduction of the maximum age for the ICS examination. Earlier time, for being present in the ICS examination, the age was 21 years. To bar the Indians or to stop Indians from passing the ICS examination, Lord Lytton reduced the age and made it 18 years So now it was nearly a impossible task for the Indians to pass the ICS examination. Then Vernacular Press Act, which was passed in the year of 1878. By the passing of this Vernacular Press Act, British government was able to control the publishing materials of the press. If any press was publishing any type of material which was against the interest of the company, they were confiscated. So we can say it was a one type of censorship on the press, and this also angered the Indians. Then Arms Act. Arms Act was also passed by the Lord Lytton. By this procedure or by this act, Indians were not allowed to carry the arm. Then Ilbert Bill. Ilbert Bill was also passed by the same Lord Lytton. According to this Ilbert Bill, Indian judges have not any type of authority or rights that they can hear the cases of the Europeans. Later on, a lot of controversy took place on this matter, and then British government has to change its decision. Now, the Indian National Congress. My dear students, till the time of 1857 revolt, there were many organizations within the India which were working on the small levels in the smaller areas for the same cause of the nationalist struggle. Some of the important organizations of that time were these were the Pune Sarvajanak Sabha, Indian Associates, Calcutta, and many more. But yet these all organizations were working on a large scale. They were unable to fulfill the goal of the nationalist struggle, or they were unable to fulfill the goal of the people. Then there were many Indians who decided that there is the requirement of such an organization within the India from which nationalist movement can be spread within the country. Then a retired ICS, he was an Englishman, A.O. Hume, formed the Indian National Congress Party in the year of 1885. The first session of the Indian National Congress was held into the Bombay, and delegates from all the presidencies came over there. The first president of that Indian National Congress was the first president of W.C. Banerjee was the first president of that Indian National Congress, and at that time a lot of prominent leaders of the India joined the Indian National Congress. What were the objectives of the Indian National Congress? In its first session of the Bombay, the objectives of the Indian National Congress were stated by the W.C. Banerjee, the first president. First one, to make a harmony type of relations among all the peoples living within India. To make a friendly relations among the Hindus, Muslims and other caste groups of the society. And beside that, to formulate such type of policies by which they can put forward the demand of Indians in front of the Britishers. Next one. To create an opinion in the country by publishing and spreading different type of pamphlets and other materials. What were the main demand of the Indian National Congress? First demand, to reduce the taxes. Beside that, to reduce the revenue or high revenue which was paid by the workers. Indians should also get higher posts in the government positions. age of the ICS examination should be increased. Executive and judiciary both should be different. Arms Act should be suspended. Abolition of salt means on the salt also there were some tax was taken. That tax has to be ended up. And beside that, the military expenditure which was made by the company or the British government, that should be also reduced. Yet, Congress organization was formed for the widespread movement, but it was unable to achieve a lot in its early tenure. In the year of 1885 it was formed, and its first 20 years, means 1885 to 1905, were ruled by the moderate leaders. Moderate leaders were believing in the moderate ideals. Some of the important moderate leaders which were of that time, they put forward their demands against the Britishers. They were abide by the rules and regulations. They were putting forward the demands of the Indians. They were also doing a lot of paperwork, petitions, etc. In first few years, British government carefully observed the activities of the moderates, but later on it became reluctant. So, when moderates were unable to achieve anything, the next 20 years, 1905 to 1925, it was the extremists, or we can say the radicals, who govern or rule the Congress. Some of the important leaders of the extremists were the Lala Lajpat Rai from the Punjab, Bal Gangadhar Tilak from the Maharashtra, and Bipin Chandra Pal from the Bengal. Their opinion was totally against of the moderates. They were believing that government has to be listen the plights and demands of the people. For that purpose, only paperwork was not required. They also wanted to secure some position in the legislature so that they can control the government activities. Now, there were many reasons that extremists or radicals came into the power. First one, attitude of the British, that I have already told, that in the early years, British government made some attention or paid some attention against the plights of the moderates. But later on, it didn't listen. That's why moderates were replaced by the extremists. Second one, international events. A lot of international events took place. How? Such as a small country, Japan, defeated the Russia. Besides that, Ethiopia was also a small country which defeated the Italy. So these events which were taking place in the international level, they also encouraged the Indians to make the revolt. Now, another cause was the partition of the Bengal. In 1905, partition of the Bengal took place by Lord Curzon. Lord Curzon gave his views that Bengal was a big area. So for the purpose of the administration, it should be divided into the eastern and the western Bengal. But the main motto of the partition of the Bengal was to break the unities of the Hindu and Muslims. And at that time, Bengal was regarded as the political hub of the India, and maximum political activities were taking place from that place. So to stop such type of activities, Lord Curzon divided this. But people of the Bengal were knowing what was the main motto of the Lord Curzon behind the division of the Bengal. So they showed a lot of hatred against this decision. At that time, two movements, boycott and Swadeshi, were in the common. Under the Swadeshi, people started to people started to use the products which were produced within India. Many students left their government colleges and schools. Many employees such as a clerk, lawyer, doctor, etc. they left the government jobs, and on the public places huge bonfire was burnt, and in that bonfire all the foreign items and goods were burnt off. Then another was the first one was the Swadeshi, and another was the Swadeshi. And at the same time, one more thing happened. Rabindranath Tagore, who was the famous poet of the Bengal, who was awarded by the Bharat Ratna also, he told to the Indians that this is the time that Indians should be unite with each other. So for that purpose, he advised the people that each individual will tie a rakhi to the other individuals so that they will show the unity. And he also became too much angry by this division of the Bengal that he returned the knighthood title which was given to him by the British government. Then there was the All India Muslim League. In the year of 1906, All India Muslim League was being formed by the Aga Khan, who was the governor of the Dhaka. The main objective of the formation of the Muslim League was to save the economic as well as political interest of the Muslims, and Britishers supported the Muslim League, and Muslim declared that they will be loyal to the British. But as World War I took place, and in the World War I, after the World War I, the behavior of Britishers towards the Turkey was not too much good. So these leaders of the All India Muslim League or Muslim League became too much angry by the British officials. Besides that, at that time only, Parliamento Reform or the Government of India Act of 1909 was passed. According to that, separate legislation was being given to the Muslims so that they can also held the positions in the legislative assembly and they can save their economic interest. Now, the revolutionary movement. As we are seeing, one side moderates were working, another side extremists were working, but against or expect them, there were many groups who were working secretly into the society, and these were the group of the revolutionaries who were believing that government of the British or British rule should be come to an end by the force and power. They were looting the British treasury, purchasing the pistols, guns, bombs and other ammunitions. They were training to their comrades and making a lot of offensive type of activities against the British rule. Some of the prominent leaders were the V.D. Savarkar, Lala Hardayal, Khudiram Bose, Prafulla Chaki, etc. In 1912, Ras Bihari Bose threw a bomb on the Lord Hardinge. In that, Lord Hardinge became injured. Later on, Lala Hardayal was being caught, Ras Bihari Bose was being caught, and later on, Ras Bihari Bose fled away to the Japan. Then some of the Indian revolutionaries under leadership of the Ashfaqullah Khan, or we can say under the banner of the Hindustan Republican Association or Hindustan Republican Party, looted the treasury from a train at a station of Kakori, and this came to be known as the Kakori conspiracy case. Now World War I and national movement. As we are knowing, World War I was fought from 1914 to 1917 against between the two powers, Central Powers and the Axis powers. In that World War I, Britishers were the Axis power and Allies. Britishers were the Allies. Indian soldiers helped the British, and Indian leaders were convinced that after the end of the World War I, British attitude and behavior towards the Indians will be different because they will think that we helped them. But after the World War I, seeing the conditions of seeing the attitude and behaviors of the Britishers towards the Indians became too much reluctant, and it was a time when Muslim League or leaders of the Muslim League also became angry by the British officials. Why? Because after the World War I, Turkey was divided among the Allied powers, and at that time the Sultan of the Turkey was regarded as a spiritual leader of the Muslim in India. So Muslims of India became very angry by this activity of the Britishers, and they led a struggle against them. Then in 1916, the Lucknow Pact was being signed. By this pact, it was being decided that moderates and extremists both will join together against the freedom struggle of the British, as well as Hindu and Muslims also decided to join with each other. Now, arrival of Gandhiji. My dear students, as we are knowing, Mahatma Gandhi was a barrister and a prominent freedom fighter of our country, India. When he was in the South Africa, he fought against the apartheid system of the racial discrimination, and after that he returned to the India. In 1915, he came to the India and he formed a ashram at the Sabarmati in Gujarat, and in 1916 he joined the Indian National Congress. As he joined the Indian National Congress, he gave a special type of weapon which was the Satyagraha. He led Satyagraha at the three places, Champaran in Bihar, Ahmedabad, as well as Kheda in the Gujarat. In the Bihar, he was with the farmers who don't want to grow the indigo on the best on the best grounds, and he was successful in that Satyagraha. Second was in the Ahmedabad. In the Ahmedabad, he was with the mill workers, and these mill workers were not getting the proper wages. By the interference of the Mahatma Gandhi, they got some good negotiations. And third one was the Kheda in the Gujarat. In the Kheda in Gujarat, people who were against the oppressive policies, in the Kheda in Gujarat, crops was being failed, so people of the Gujarat refused to pay the taxes. By the Satyagraha led by the Mahatma Gandhi, government agreed by this. So during the World War I, a lot of more up and down took place. About that all we shall discuss in the next video. Till that time, bye bye my dear students.